Chimpanzees, as you know, are 98.5% genetically identical to us. So here is a species very closely related to us, basically infecting with a very similar virus that doesn't get sick.
I'm very proud of being the first person to pave the way for a possibility of eradicating polio in the world. The vaccine was developed with the idea that you can attenuate a virulent virus and make it so mild that you could immunize instead of causing the disease. Sabin, who asked me whether I'm not afraid of Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Children taking exception of feeding the live virus to children.
Au Congo belge, le camp de Polio, dirigé par le docteur Courtois, compte 86 chimpanzés sur lesquels on pratique régulièrement des essais en injectant le vaccin anti-polio inventé en 1947 par le docteur Koprowski. Les animaux sont placés dans des cages dont une des parois est mobile et permet d'approcher plus facilement les singes pour les injections hypodermiques. Ainsi se poursuit une lutte implacable contre une des plus terribles maladies non encore vaincues.
The work which was done originally on polio vaccination was done in the then Belgian Congo. Both the animal work and mass vaccination. The first trial on mass vaccination was done in Ruzizi Valley in maybe it was 59 or 60, I don't remember, where in 6 weeks 250,000 people were vaccinated against polio because there was a polio epidemic.
He was holding back, he wasn't being cooperative, he wasn't giving me the information I needed, evasive, and finally I felt that he was playing games. There was so much evidence.
In 1987, the world had just woken up to the reality of AIDS, and subsequently it has now been found that the first ever recorded blood sample which is HIV positive has been found from the capital of Congo from 1959. And Koprowski is claiming that his trials may have begun in 1960, in other words, after the first HIV positive blood sample which has been found.
Your grandparents were slaves, no?
Was what?
Your grandparents were slaves, no?
Slaves? Yeah! Slaves are the fucking Belgians.
This was the place where in 1958 us and our two closest relatives were gathered together in which our close relatives became sacrificial beasts for polio vaccine manufacture, and now we have AIDS. But apart from that, I think scientists and researchers can learn a lot from this particular problem. A lot about human evolution, but also what is the role of these SIVs, these viruses in chimps, and probably the bonobos to play in influencing their sexuality. What role did these viruses play in explaining why humans are different from other animals? What was it that made humans different? Almost all the African primates that have been tested in Africa have these viruses, the immunodeficiency viruses. Bonobos have been inadequately tested, but that's it. And humans didn't have them. So I think that's it. So why is it that only humans don't have these viruses? And I think it's because humans evolved some inherent protection against these viruses. And it was only that special event at Lindy Camp.
And also the bonobos and the chimp, with the existence of the virus in their body, the virus doesn't kill them. But how, when it comes in a human body, it does kill? That can also be another question, which can help to find out a remedy. Don't you think?
The fact of the matter, I believed, was that we were calling simian immunodeficiency virus, the virus in chimps, SIV, but it did not cause any immunodeficiency in chimps. Maybe this virus was harmless and it was only the mutation it had undergone in tissue culture that had made it so dangerous. After all, HIV-1, when transferred back into chimps experimentally, killed them same as it did with humans.
Hivi banasema ke virusi ya sida tuko na toka kwa mkomboso. Hivi chez tuko na kula ba mkomboso ile. C'est-à-dire que tuko déjà vraiment contaminé na sida.
Say no, but this is what the people, some people say that it's because people are eating them, maybe somebody got cut and the blood got transferred into humans. Some people say this is how SIDA started. Any other disease maybe could have come through eating or whatever, but a disease as dangerous as SIDA, the fact that it is started now, this is not a disease that could have been around in humans and suddenly made its appearance in 1960. I think it started just after the feeding of this dawa, because all of them would have known about SIDA if it had been around 100 years ago, but there seems to be no sign of SIDA. How is this possible if people are eating chimpanzees? There are many people who don't want this story to come out and they will argue with me, but it is my belief that SIDA virus is very different from the virus which is in chimpanzees. Something has changed this virus.
Nasema basi mbele tulikuwa nakula tu soko muvi. Hivyo wakati baberzi banakwenda njoo tunakia kusikia tena SIDA. Na mbele tulikuwa nakula soko muvi.
The cut-hunter theorists, on the other hand, they had the laboratories and the power to interpret the findings any way they wished. Findings they subsequently used to create patents and establish alliances with pharmaceutical companies. And as such, only one form of data was constantly thrown into scientific journals.
So we have a large grant for AIDS for 5 years of total of $4.5 million. Yes, we just got a grant now from NIH for work on AIDS. This is a basic research in AIDS here, and there is an attempt to learn more about AIDS virus, learn more about tumors, so-called non-Hodgkin leukemias, which may be associated with AIDS, learn about a new approach to immunization against AIDS, and about this fusion between cells. I don't need to go to Africa, I'm not interested.
Daraki lolenge na mkombo somi bale. Na oyo mosusu daraki lokola makako. Na oyo mosusu daraki mutane lokola biso bato.
Daraki ndingi bale. Oyo ngamba porte ville obondo na oyo ngambo ya Isiro. Oyo ngamba ya Isiro daraki moindo. Kusunaye mutane. Bobo kuna bataki pembe. Kuse bataki kaka ningi mo komene bataki pembe. Pembe sisa. Bobo kuna moindo.